Saving energy, conserving water and recycling waste is now a major consideration for every business. The Green Tourism Business Scheme is at the forefront of helping its members achieve cost-effective savings which can improve performance and make good business sense.
Small businesses, just as much as large businesses, can make cost savings. Electricity, water and waste are all growing costs. Water costs have increased quite significantly over the last 4 or 5 years, even in Scotland where we have a lot of rainfall.
Saving water is another really important measure. Scottish Water, they're the biggest single electricity user in Scotland because all mains water has got to be treated and it's got to be pumped, so there's an awful lot of energy into that. And there's so many different ways to save water. On a small scale, if you just take the top off your toilet cistern at home and pop in a 500ml bottle of water, you'll save half a litre less every time you flush. And then for the really big hotels, what a lot of them are doing are things like rainwater harvesting, where you capture all the rain falling off the roof. You can use that to flush the toilet so you're not using mains water.
Other sort of savings, low energy lighting, going for the compact fluorescence and the LED lights rather than the standard bulbs. They're about an 80% reduction in energy consumption, so reducing that can save about £20 a year per bulb. So if you imagine how much that adds up to on even a small business, can be quite significant, so that can add up to the hundreds of pounds. Looking at where you're buying your food from, buying locally, maybe considering how much your portion sizes are. People don't eat the great big fat enormous breakfast that they used to. They're quite happy with smaller portion sizes.
The main things businesses can do to save energy is just have more staff awareness, just so staff know to turn lights off, turn radiators down and that sort of thing. And there's a huge number of things they can do. Insulation's a big thing people forget, roof insulation, double glazing, all that sort of thing. In addition to energy saving, recycling is very important. I don't know whether you would say it was essential, but if you look at the fact that landfill tax is going up to £72 per tonne by 2013, it just makes an awful lot of sense to recycle. One of the big things about recycling is to look at the waste hierarchy, and first you're looking to reduce and reuse. So I think a lot of businesses focus on recycle, where you might just look at your suppliers, not get as much cardboard and things coming in, and then you don't need to pay for the recycling. But then once it's got to that stage of recycling, there's glass, cardboard, paper, tin, and food waste is the big one that a lot of businesses are doing now as well.
Small businesses can make significant savings just as much as the larger businesses. A smaller business might have an energy consumption annually of as low as £1,000 a year, and getting a 20% saving, like £200 a year saving, is not impossible. The costs associated with running a successful, sustainable business are not insignificant. Even a sustainable business has to pay for energy, waste and water, so they're all growing as costs. What we've tended to find is even measures which are quite cost intensive, i.e. quite big investments, have actually proven themselves to have relatively short paybacks. The
cost of micro renewables, the way we look at it is the payback. So however much something costs, you look at the number of years before that's paid back for itself. And it can quite easily be 1 or 2 years. I mean, with LED lighting, you're probably looking at less than a year if a light's on a lot of the time.
We track all our businesses' energy consumption through annual performance information that we collect based upon their utility consumption. And on the basis of that, we've been able to identify a 30% saving on one of our hotel chains. That's one of the most significant savings. They've been shortlisted for a Best Performer award because of it. They've made a 30% reduction in their energy consumption, and that amounts to £3 million a year in terms of energy cost savings over between 30 and 40 hotels. So you can see that there's quite a significant potential if businesses really engage with doing environmental best practices and joining in with the whole sort of green agenda. Taking the message home is an important part of the role that tourism can have. As a hotel operator or as a bed and breakfast operator, what we're selling and what we're promoting is a vision of what we would like our lifestyles to be like. That's what people do when they go on holiday. They choose the 5-star hotel or the chic boutique bed and breakfast because of aspects that there are elements of what that offer is, which are things that they would aspire to have in their own lives. So as a result, it's a great opportunity to get people to rethink that kind of quality vision in terms of an environmental and a sustainable one.